another episode of Mind Your Cleaning Business. Your host, Brian Leighton, with the co-host, DeMeo here from Sunshine Cleaning Systems.
What's happening?
And PHC Cleaners. So, listen, obviously these last few episodes have been great. We've been talking about, obviously, the cleaning industry, some business practices, and we're going to talk about more about that. But more importantly, we want to give a shout out to one of our favorite donut places. I don't know if you guys can see the box here, Rocco's Donuts. Ray, tell us a little bit about Rocco's.
Rocco's has locations in Burlington, Westboro, Millbury, and a pop-up in Salem, New Hampshire. Definitely the best donuts I've had in a long, long time. Great quality, always an array of selection of flavors. They change monthly, so thank you, Rocco's, for what you're doing. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean we're big donut guys, so especially in the morning, the afternoon, we're always munching on a donut here and there. So one of our favorite donuts places. So if you're in that area, definitely check out Rocco's. Ray.
Yes,
so let's start off. Let's chat a little bit about. First of all, how's been the last week? How's business been going? How's everything going?
Things have been very good. This time of year is always a little slow for my industry. I don't know about yours, probably not. Just trying to do some extra things to help me get found and prepare me for my upcoming season in the spring.
What's your busy season?
This is usually the spring and the summer.
Nice.
It continues somewhat into the fall, but as the holidays approach, it's really hit or miss.
Why is that? Why is there?
Well, because you got some people who want to clean before the family and in-laws come over.
Got it.
But then you have people who want to wait because they might not have the neatest in-laws.
Yeah.
So
for those who may not know, so both our companies are based out of New England. PHC Cleaners was founded in Massachusetts. Sunshine Cleaning System, obviously, founded in Massachusetts. So the winter months are brutal. It's kind of like everybody, I don't want to say depressed mode, but everybody kind of just slows down a bit. And when spring kicks in, it's kind of like spring cleaning again, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We dive back in. For us, being kind of a lot of commercial, it doesn't really slow down for us, but definitely different markets that we service, things slow down. So that's good to hear, man. So you're trying to pick it up. So what are some things that you're working on? I know you and I spoke, but maybe it would be helpful for some business owners out here, like, maybe I can take a tip from Ray.
I am working on my website, trying to increase my SEO and keyword searches so that when people are looking for my services in cities like Newton, Wellesley, Framingham, I'm more likely to be found. And I'm also trying to possibly take another training class, but that's still up in the air right now.
Nice. What kind of training?
Inspector for carpet in the flooring capital of the world, which is Dalton, Georgia.
Nice.
That class is scheduled to take place in June, but they have not yet put a link to sign up yet.
Nice. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So I know you. Yeah, same. Busy. You know me. I'm always going 100 different directions. Obviously, as you know, I was in New York this weekend for a soccer tournament. So for those that don't know, I'm a soccer coach, technical director. I also own a soccer company as well. I was actually in New York for a big tournament. It's pretty successful. It's fun. It's kind of the soccer side. Even though it's super busy, it's kind of like my outlet, right? From the crazy life I live. But no, things are good. Business is picking up. We're trying to make a big push in commercial industry and oversee more broader clientele, like New England based, and trying to stretch out there. As you know, we got clients in Maine and obviously Massachusetts. So we're working a couple in Connecticut, Rhode Island, hopefully. So we'll see what happens.
Nice.
Yeah. So, well, as you know, man, as you're learning now, and the whole SEO and the marketing piece, it's a grind. It's a grind. So I'd love to, diving into that. I know we've got a couple topics we want to talk about, but a lot of our viewers, listeners, are small business owners, right? And it can be challenging for people on tight budgets.
Yes.
To really, do much, right? And I think, and I honestly, I believe, that's one of the biggest things in trying to grow your business, and why many businesses either fail or they get stuck is they don't know what they don't know, and they don't know the strategies or how to go forward. So talking about that SEO. So you've been doing a lot of research on it.
I have.
I can explain it, but I'd love to hear more about you. Like, what have you learned so far about SEO? And
I've learned of a few different programs that I can utilize that'll help me increase the content and using those keywords that are needed to be found.
Yeah.
I've learned somewhat about Google Analytics, but I need to learn much more. I've taken a few free online courses that teach me how to build a website.
Yeah.
But at this point, I'm just going to keep the current site I have, given the amount of money I invested in that, and I'm just going to update the content with some of these softwares
Yeah.
that are showing me the keywords.
Yeah, absolutely. So in these softwares, and we can dive more into those. Where do you learn it? Like one of the biggest things we've talked about is content.
Yes.
And how important content is.
Correct.
So let's dive into that a little bit more. Like, what have you learned from that? You know, as you're doing more research and playing around with some of the softwares we've gone over.
I've learned it can be very confusing.
Right.
You once you start learning it, your mind just keeps going, and you keep going back to it, and then it's carefully organizing and laying everything out correctly. I've even been going to a few other websites, both in my industry and outside my industry, just to get a concept of what I like, what I don't like.
Yep. Yeah.
And one of the big things I have to do now, it seems, is have a scheduling piece on my website, because people want to make it very easy for them to schedule, not just to contact me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And leading into the kind of one of our other topics that we're going to talk about later down the line here in today's episode, the client and customer service.
Yes.
Right? We're in the day and age, everybody's go, 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 go.
Definitely.
I mean, that's what it is. As much as I love to, I always try to schedule free on site, so we know what we're getting into.
For sure. Very smart.
Which is important.
Yes.
But you need staff to be able to do that.
You do.
You know?
Yeah,
you know, I can't be here, there, everywhere. You certainly can't. And one of the things that people really because everybody's go, go, go. I just want to book something online.
Yeah.
Right. And we've tried that approach as well, where people can upload videos and give us a little tour of their home or pictures or the tour of their buildings or whatever.
Right.
It's challenging.
It is.
Right. And we were going to talk about customer service and how customer service is a dying art form.
I think it already
everything's
is.
automated now, right?
It really is.
Right. That person-to-person connection, and maybe folks on here are like, well, we don't necessarily need people-to-people interactions. We just need quality and and obviously being in the loop on things and having that level of communication. But let's dive into your business, and we'll talk about PHC as well. Dive into your business. Why is customer service important for Sunshine Cleaning Systems?
Because that's how I'm found. That's how I get my business, is giving people the service that they're looking for, being able to be knowledgeable, being able to answer their questions and concerns that they have before, during, or after. And like I said, simply being able to answer their questions, having the knowledge and the experience to address things that maybe they didn't think about or didn't cross their mind or they forgot about. And it's obviously important to me.
Right. No, 1,000%. And I think it doesn't matter if you're a multi-billion-dollar company or just starting out and tight budgets, but ultimately that's how PHC became PHC, right? I mean, they were, number one, I'd walk into a building or a home, didn't matter what it was, I was always overdressed, right? In my suit, in my suit, like always overdressed, like you're doing an estimate for post-construction job, like what are you doing, But I always, and we train our staff the same way, you need to make the person feel like they're your only customer. You know what I mean? You need to make them feel like you actually really genuinely care about them.
Yes.
Even if they go with us or not in a contract, when we're working our contract or bid, fine. Even if they don't go with us in that moment or that specific deal or whatever the case is, they'll remember us.
Yes.
Like, we got to make sure we lock PHC in for the next one, right? And see what they do. Or we'll work out deals, and it's all about treating people right.
Yeah.
And there's certainly going to be, we've all been there in the service industry. That's just the way it is. It's never perfect.
No.
Right. You're dealing with people, dealing with personalities. It's never always exactly how you want it to go. Good Ben Young, we talked about it in our last episode. When you might have to go back for a job site or touch up on this. Back in the early days. But that's great customer service. Rather than saying screw you, I'm not coming back. Like you're wrong, customer.
Right.
I'm not doing this. Go back and explain it to them, and then do whatever the service is that they're looking to do.
Yes.
And that sort of thing. And I know you and I, our business, obviously we get along as individuals, but our business complement each other too. Meaning, certainly if there's a service that we don't provide or can't provide, or just whether it's a scheduling or whatever, we'll refer to you. Right? And you refer to us. And I think that's customer service, right?
Yes, agreed, yeah.
So you see a problem and you say, well, I can't do that. I can't solve that problem.
It's too big for me.
But I'm going to take my time
Oh, yeah.
and tell you about some other company I know that can, right? So yeah, customer service is huge and massively important. And I think now we're gonna jump back to the kind of tech piece of this. We'll go back to your original comment about people wanting to book online and how that can be a form of customer service. I want to switch it up a bit and talk about AI.
Yes.
Right? Because you've been using AI.
I have.
You've been using AI for the last couple of weeks.
And
really,
it is amazing.
And diving into it. So tell me about that. Like what, without giving us your trade secrets, but tell us like how you're using AI right now.
I'm using it to help begin to help me create some content for my site. As at the same point though, help it be somewhat humorous, because I am a funny guy and to me laughter is the best medicine.
Yeah.
So just putting in a few punchlines. I can't remember them exactly at this
Comedian
moment.
for hire over here. Comedian for hire. Yeah.
But it's helped me do that. Helped me pick up a few headlines that I'm going to put on the website. I've also begun to just use a few different platforms, and it's interesting how they're all somewhat different.
Yeah.
And you have to kind of train it to develop your own mantra, your own language, your own that type of thing. The next thing I'm going to try though is put in the exact prompt in the 3 different ones that I'm currently using, and see, and to kind of compare those results or answers.
Right. And I think it's a huge thing. I mean, obviously people are up in arms with AI, or what we define as AI, because I mean, as far as I'm concerned, AI has been around a long time.
Longer than we've realized.
right. All of a sudden, AI, is now a buzzword, right? And
yes,
now
it's huge.
But it's look at the phone that's recording this
Correct.
video, right?
Correct,
Or the laptop's over there, or it's everywhere.
It really
right?
is.
YouTube, an example, utilizing YouTube and building shorts and building reels, and it's all AI, right? And so now, obviously, I think there's a bigger push on AI when it comes to business development aspects, right? And we talk about the content, right? And now because AI is really, driving force in management, in marketing, right? It's now stirring up the pot a little bit. I mean, we're going to see businesses go out of business. We're going to see, we're going to see organizations, companies that have been cemented, or an industry that's been cemented in time forever, be wiped out, right?
Yes.
And I say that in the sense, because you can I like to listen to a lot of different podcasts. Gary Vee is one of the ones I really I like to listen to, and I got connected with Gary Vee because he's an alumni from Mount Ida. So here's to you, Gary Vee. But we, all these guys, the marketing guys, the podcast guys, they're not, the higher level individuals, I guess you would say, they're not necessarily nervous of AI. They use it as a tool, right? You'll see other marketing people who are freaking out. I'm going to lose my job. It's more of an opportunity. You've got more resources, more tools now to actually kind of adapt and make something better. But at the end of the day, when it comes to small business, so for our viewers out there that are small business owners, or whatever the case may be, interested in small business, it's not necessarily about what you can't do, but finding opportunities that you can do. And how do you utilize? You see PHC. We're a multi-state company. Started this business with $600, right?
Right.
And obviously, Sunshine Cleaning Systems. You started this business literally from nothing.
Yes.
And just like you got a pickup truck and some equipment. You're like, I'm all in.
Exactly.
And now it's so we have 2 businesses that were built on very, very shoestring budgets.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I still like to operate no matter what business I start or own. I appreciate strategy and
I know you do.
and keeping everything really cheap when it comes to marketing. So I'd love to give some tips to people out there, and even some softwares. Maybe even ones that I use. There's a million different softwares. One of the biggest ones I like to use, Growth Bar SEO, which I got Ray onto.
You do.
There's a lot of different apps similar to it. where you can build out your own content. Certainly don't want to use this stuff word for word, but
No.
you build out your own content, you build out your identity through it, it helps you find keywords, that sort of thing. So I would definitely recommend that. Another one that you brought up was Google. I love Google products. I use Google for everything when it comes to business.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, exactly, right? Google Analytics, Google AdWords, Google Console, and understanding how to utilize that can be a little confusing.
Yeah.
Right? But and again, you're learning, right? You've only been doing it for the last couple of weeks, right? And so it's definitely a grind to work through it. Yeah, I think the secret. What would you say the secret is? Like, just stick with it and keep trying to learn. Like,
yes.
yeah.
And eventually, like anything, you'll master it.
You'll figure it out.
Yeah. Because you can't learn how to drive from a parked car. You have to get it going, start the engine, figure things out, get that feel, develop your own understanding of how to drive.
Yeah.
But in this case, SEO.
Yeah. So I would say, just business tips, so for somebody that just wants to do digital marketing, with SEO, SEM, and social media stuff.
SERP.
SERP.
So you're learning the term.
Yeah. So when it comes to digital marketing, you can do this on a tight budget.
Yeah.
Obviously we just started launching this podcast over the last few weeks, and we've got a few microphones and a phone to get things going, right? And some delicious donuts.
Yes.
That's it. And a few shots of espresso. Yeah. But you can build things. The importance is execution.
Correct.
I was listening to the podcast the other day, and everybody's got great ideas.
Yeah.
Everybody's got great ideas. Very few people are willing to take the chance and fail on those ideas by executing.
Yep.
And that's that. I don't know if you've got anything else you want to throw in regarding.
I would have to say, what are your thoughts? Because I don't think robots are going to be able to replace what we do.
No.
They're trying to claim it. I could see a robot that cleans a floor in like an airport where you have a certain time window, maybe where the airport's closed.
Right.
Or it can be sectioned off so that robot can clean the floor.
Yeah.
Because obviously we all know that auto scrubbers clean better than mops.
Yeah.
People should stop using mops, but maybe there's a budget or some other things involved there.
Yeah.
But and compact floor scrubbers today, there's no reason why someone shouldn't be using them. There's even these styles that can be so compact that they can go underneath a toilet in a commercial facility because of. It's almost like a mop on a handle. Right. But it's still dispensing clean, fresh clean water and solution down, not soiled. Therefore, the floor stays cleaner longer. And it's healthier and more sanitary in the long run.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's a great point. Robotics, obviously there's a difference between AI and robotics, but robotics in our industry, you're definitely seeing them.
Yes.
Right? You're definitely seeing, and even as long as we've been in business, there's a level of, let's just use auto scrubbers. Yeah. You could say that's kind of a level of robotics, right?
Yes. Yes.
You see, different, whether it's vacuum cleaners or carpet cleaning machines, just different. And then you're right. I think the only, again, don't put me on the internet for saying this. Don't hold it against me. You're not going to see a robotic made with a duster like we do in the Jeffersons cartoon. Jetsons, Jeffersons. Yeah.
But I do remember seeing a few weeks ago a video on LinkedIn where a robot was able to go into a restroom, clean it, and even come out of the restroom. It opened and closed the restroom door by itself.
No kidding.
Yeah.
You're gonna send that to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen the ones like obviously in the grocery stores. They go around and they mop the floor.
But this was literally spraying the solution and everything and air drying it. It was real.
And the reality is,
and it took like 10 minutes.
Exactly. The reality is, obviously, those machines are a massive upfront cost.
Yes.
But if you're a large business, think about it. If one of those machines costs you
$20,000,
$20,000, $30,000.
Yeah.
That's less than. That's a third of somebody's salary.
It is.
Right? Even maybe less than that.
Right.
And you're like, well, the return on investment's much higher than hiring somebody. It is one of those things. But I think there's always going to be a need for personal interaction.
Totally. Totally
right?
agree.
I think there's always going to be a need for personal interaction at some level. Like, and of course, you're going to need people to maintain these machines,
Yes.
right?
And know how to even.
And know how to,
Yes.
right? And have the expertise to maintain, have the expertise to explain it, have the expertise to operate it to some degree. You know,
Yep.
like
Yep.
you're still going to need people to some degree to, you know, hopefully we're talking years in
Yeah,
the future.
hopefully, yes. After our lifetime.
Yeah, right. But again, I mean, it could massively reduce cost to clients. It could it could be far more sustainable. You know, so.
But even for you, you could purchase the robot and you could have it in there, and
Right.
now in the long run, that saves you money.
Massively. You know. So yeah.
But I don't know if you have $30,000 like.
And I don't want to scare our employees. Nobody's getting replaced by robots anytime soon.
No.
Hopefully not. No, I'm just kidding. You know, again, and that's what's nice about, you know, I don't want to say we prepared for that, but you know, we cross-train our staff. You know, so
You have to.
you know, we don't. I'm not looking to hire, you know, maintenance staff or professional cleaning staff, and that's it. You know, I want people that can grow in the business,
Right.
right? And I think that's what, you know, it's one of my hardest parts, you know, with the business when we grow, you know, we continue to keep growing, but in the beginning days, is hiring good people. And I sat down with one of my mentors, and I mean, the reality was this: Brian, people don't wake up one day and dream of, I want to be a professional cleaning person, or I want to be a professional maintenance person.
No way.
Certainly, the industry you can make a really good living.
Yeah,
you know,
you
as you build up in the industry and you know your expertise. You know, there's, you know, maintenance managers and supervisors. You know, make a really good living.
Right.
So certainly that, but it's not one of those things. It's not like
No.
I want to be a professional baseball player, right? It's different. Or I want to be a doctor. Or I want to be a lawyer, right? It's not the same. So you need to make sure that number one, you know, again, I'm going all over the place here, but we talk robotics. If that ever happened, you have people that are cross-trained and can do other things. So when we train people, you know, we're not just hiring cleaning people. We're hiring, you know, people that will start in the business as I did in my own business, scrubbing the dirtiest of toilets and doing the hardest jobs. But they see the pathway to growing into something else, whether that's management, whether that's operations, whether that's marketing, whether that's, you know, wanting to be a supervisor or manager, or, you know, you look at our general manager, Yesenia, who's amazing, by the way. She started off as a part-time cleaning technician.
You can't stop talking about her.
Yeah, so part-time cleaning technician, right? And she oversees Massachusetts and Maine.
Right.
You know, like just excellent, and somebody that you're like, wow. You know, she does some of our marketing. She does obviously she does a lot of management. She works with our billing team. She does all of that. You know, and that's a great example. We've got other people right behind her that are going to do the same thing, and you could build your business that way.
Right.
You know, no matter if, you know, you got the Jetsons bringing in their cleaning mates. You know, so.
Exactly.
So I think, you know, again, another great episode of Mind Your Cleaning Business. We're gonna have apparel coming out soon. Apparel will be launched, you know, so we have a company called Live It Brands. We'll have hats, we'll have sweatshirts, we'll have t-shirts, so you can purchase apparel. I own the business, so you can get it for, you know, you're not gonna have to spend $80 on a sweatshirt. But really cool stuff. Again, Rocco's Donut Company, greatly appreciate you, you know, for jump-starting our morning.
Yes, thank you.
This beautiful Monday morning. We'll be back. We always stop in. So again, thank you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.
Cheers.